Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be going over Klarna or KLAR, a buy now, pay later payment service. It's very controversial because people amass massive amounts of debt and can't pay it off. Today we're going to be going over their recent IPO in September of 2025, how the stock has performed, and what is my investment thesis on it. I have built an Excel model completely around it to show you what Klarna's competitors are in the space and how it's going to play out over the next couple of years, at least in my opinion. To jump right into it, I'm just going to explain Klarna and then we can go into the Excel model and the charts as well. So Klarna's business model and revenue stream is from buy now, pay later. What does that mean if you don't know what it is? So at checkout on a lot of e-commerce sites or even fast food, DoorDash, Uber, all of these different things, at checkout, Klarna lets consumers split purchases into interest-free payments or pay after delivery, while merchants get paid out up front. So I go to Chipotle and I'm going to buy a $20 burrito. Instead of paying $20 in cash or $20 on my credit card all at once right there, instead I can use Klarna's debit card or their credit card or whatever, or their Apple Pay, and I can, pay it off over 4 months. That sounds insane because what happens is people who aren't responsible with money will just continue to do that over and over again until they're paying off, thousands of dollars every single month from stuff they bought months ago. Or it also, builds bad habits for online shopping because a lot of e-commerce websites as well have Klarna as a payment option. So it's a major problem in America that's not talked about enough, in my opinion. There are a bunch of other competitors in this space as well, like Affirm, Afterpay, and PayPal, which also have positioned themselves into the buy now, pay later space. Klarna really started to build a name for itself during the pandemic when e-commerce boomed and buy now, pay later adoption started to happen. At its peak, Klarna was valued at over $40 billion in private markets. However, as interest rates rose and consumer credit tightened, the company, like the rest of the buy now, pay later sector, faced higher default rates, margin pressure, and sharper valuation reset. Hopping into a 4-hour chart for Klarna, you can see their chart is very limited because they IPO'd in September of 2025. However, they have just been on a downward spiral, IPOing or starting off around close to $60, and now they're sitting under $24 at $23. So the stock has not performed well, and there's plenty of reasons for that, possibly because of shareholder dilution, as well as the credit defaults and the credit swaps like we were just talking about. Going into this Excel model, we're going to really be able to find out what is the leading cause. However, if you did invest at the IPO, you'd be down at least 50% of your original investment. So this entire Excel sheet that I have pulled up here is in billions of dollars. So just to preface that, looking forward. So the 4 companies we have here are Klarna, number 1, Affirm, Block, and PayPal. This is revenue right here. You have take rate, active users, which we see. Klarna has the largest active users by quite a bit. Now, something to look at immediately that is very interesting and is going to tell most of the story here is the loan book right here, highlighted in yellow. Klarna has 42.75%. So that means that out of $1,000 that they have, they're going to loan out 42% of that $1,000, $420. Whereas PayPal is only loaning out 9%. So obviously, when defaults rise, PayPal is going to be a lot less at risk compared to Klarna only having 9% at risk. Therefore, Klarna is a much riskier investment, in my opinion, compared to its competitors, specifically PayPal. I think PayPal is just a better investment overall because it's more of an institutional company. They have a lot more options than just a buy now, pay later, which Klarna is really structured around. Now, another key part of this Excel sheet is operating income. Operating income is obviously what the net income actually is after all the operating costs, sales and marketing, R&D, the tech, everything. So you can see PayPal is the most profitable, $1.37 billion, and Klarna is around $100 million if my math is correct, with their operating margin being a lot thinner than PayPal and Block. So right now, this is with no stress, with no risk. And right below it, highlighted in yellow, we can see risk-adjusted margin. Risk-adjusted margin is putting into effect higher risk than we're currently in if the market continues to spiral like it is and the entire sector continues to go down with higher defaults. Higher defaults just means consumers are less likely to pay off what they're buying now and then paying later. So people who are paying later, they're paying less back. So in that scenario, Klarna will just continue to lose more money. Gross credit loss right underneath loan book shows us the actual percent of money they do not get paid back from their loan. So out of $1,000, they're going to loan 420, and then out of that 420, they're going to not receive back 1.62%. That is one of the highest margins out of this entire thing. And obviously, PayPal is going to have a lot less, and as well as Affirm, because they're loaning out less money. It is interesting to me that Block is actually higher, because it's weird because they're loaning out a lot less money than Klarna. But that is just something interesting. So down here, we have more stress scenarios. I'm not really going to go into that because the stress scenarios are just simulating if the sector continues to spiral downhill. Right now, we're just looking at the current and maybe the out course the next 1 year. So what is the investment thesis? What is this video all about? The investment thesis is that if you do own Klarna or KLAR, the stock, or you want to buy it, or you think it's at a lucrative price right now for yielding profits, I would tell you that you're pretty much betting on the default market to rise and interest rates to drop. Less interest rates and people are going to loan more money. Same thing with defaults, right? Lower defaults mean that more people are going to pay you back more money, and this 1.62% is going to drop. That is partially why the stock has just seen an absolute dump since it IPO'd, is because people are scared of this entire market right now, and the default rates are just rising because as people do, in America, the GDP is so high and the economy looks good on the outside, but people know on the inside, as well as Europe, that the job market's shit, the purchasing power is going down, and people aren't responsible with their money, leading to people pretty much going to predatory businesses like Klarna. That's what Klarna is, and all these buy now, pay later services are, in my opinion. It's a completely predatory market for people that are too dumb with their money, and they're going to choose to buy now, pay later, which is really, really financially irresponsible, in my opinion. So this Excel sheet just tells us Klarna does not survive the stress test. More customers fail to repay their losses, and their losses will rise. Klarna's losses will rise, and their operating income will become negative. They are still earning from merchant fees, consumer fees. However, revenue becomes not big enough to absorb the credit loss. How can Klarna actually become less risky and a better investment, in my opinion? If Klarna cuts down their loan book like PayPal did, and PayPal only is loaning out 9% to a 42%, they're going to become a lot less risky. Losing, they're going to drop down their credit loss rate because their loan book is going to be less. That it is a trade-off, though, because Klarna right now, they're doing horribly, but when the market switches, which it inevitably will, Klarna is going to be doing very well. And that is the 42% loan book kind of theory and idea, is that when the market's doing bad, it's doing really bad, the Klarna stock. However, when markets are good, default rates are low, and interest rates are low, and people are actually borrowing money, then the stock's going to perform really well because that 42% is going to be loaned out constantly compared to 9%, which is going to be making a lot less money. So that's the entire investment thesis about this. I don't think Klarna is a sound investment, in my opinion. This is not financial advice. I don't invest in Klarna. This is just some research work I did. But I think this is really good information if you are interested in investing in a buy now, pay later service. You don't necessarily have to invest in Klarna. Maybe you're interested in PayPal. Just don't invest into Affirm, obviously. So I'm going to post another video soon like these about the XL. Hopefully you guys like this video. I still have 0 views on my channel, which is really great. 3 videos, 0 views. I think I have 2 views, and they're both from me, so that's sweet. I'm sorry about the quality of this video. I'm recording it off my phone with the audio, so it's kind of shitty. But hopefully this was educational and helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.